Morning. My name is Corporal Lindahl. I'll be giving you a short informational brief on leadership styles. First of all, I'd like to thank 2nd Platoon, 1st Squad, and 2nd Squad for making it here today, as well as Sergeant Danley, my SGL. Thank you. This brief will be unclassified. So, leadership styles. So on the agenda, first I'll give you a quick introduction, and we'll go over the 3 effective styles. Then we'll go over how to implement them, or the implementation. Finally, I'll summarize it all. The introduction. Yes, there are many styles of leadership. But in this brief, we'll be focusing on 3 of the most effective styles. Those are autocratic, democratic, and transformational. Well, the situations can dictate what style will be effective. And also, soldiers also dictate the style to use or what will be effective. And when leading and using these leadership styles, using the wrong leadership style can hurt our cohesion and our effectiveness. The autocratic style, it's more of a do as I say. It's very centered on the leader. And this leader just hands out orders, detailed instructions. It's fast paced, makes it easy to get decisions quickly. The problem is this doesn't foster growth. So the democratic style, however, is on the opposite side of the spectrum from autocratic. It's to where you're working more collaboratively in a group to get things done. You're taking in your soldiers' opinions. You're putting them opinions into the final decision-making process. Yes, this can draw out the decision-making process, but it fosters more of a group mentality or participation. And this final decision still rests on the leader at this point. You still have to make the final decision on your own, even taking in, and this can sometimes mean that your soldiers don't think you made the right decision given their opinions. But you have to make the final decision. Transformational leadership. This will lead by example. You have to know what you're doing, because you're entrusting your soldiers to know what they're doing. You're leading them, and you're working with them. These leaders are always looking for new and innovative and more proficient ways of getting things done. And in this style, the input of the group is highly encouraged. And you're going to instill personal responsibility into these soldiers. You need to encourage them to be a leader. And this is probably the best style to foster new leaders. Now, how do we implement these? The autocratic style it's definitely a style where it's quick decisions. It's you have to do this now. It has to get done. You don't have time to talk it over. Also, you can use this when dealing with inexperienced soldiers. This is where you're just telling them what to do. And then they will learn. You'll tell them what to do. Then they'll get the job done. Now, you should use this sparingly, however. Overuse of this, it can hurt your morale and make soldiers feel unappreciated as to where they're not part of a group or a part of the team. And the democratic, this is going to take some time. You have to sit down and you have to talk with your soldiers and get their opinions. In situations where you actually have the time and the resources to do this, Now, the soldiers you need for this, they have to be slightly more experienced. If you try this with unexperienced soldiers or inexperienced soldiers, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to spin around in the water. As to where the democratic, also, it's a group thing. You're making a group decision, or you're making a decision based on what the group feels. Transformational leaders, however, so they're proficient in their field, and they're working alongside their soldiers. You need trustworthy soldiers for this. And this is where it's going to take time. You're going to have to get to know these soldiers. You're going to have to work with these soldiers and be able to trust them. And they have to be able to trust you. It goes both ways. First, and take the devotion. Actually be more involved with your soldiers. And teach them and maybe even learn from them. So in summary, to sum this all up, well, yes, there may be many styles of leadership. These three styles, autocratic, democratic, and transformational, they're the most effective. Autocratic leadership gets quick results with no discussion. But yes, it can become detrimental to morale. Now, where democratic, yes, you may not get as quick results, but it has more team involvement. Transformational. Well, this does convey more freedom to the individual, allowing growth, allowing them to grow, and fostering them as a leader. But at the same time, you're conveying teamwork by getting to know them and being with them. See, these three types of leadership, they should cover almost any situation. And they should cover almost any group of soldiers. Should cover almost anything that we run into in our careers, anything we may encounter. Therefore, knowing them and how to properly implement them into your squads, well, this should make us better leaders, better NCOs, and further our careers in the military. Is there any questions? That concludes my brief.